If you walk through the ruins of Rome, you'll notice something strange. The city sits roughly 15 miles from the coast. Athens, the greatest naval power of the ancient world, wasn't built on the water either. Its harbor was a separate town entirely, miles away, connected by walls. Most people assume this was simple practicality, cities built near water for trade and fishing, but not directly exposed to it. That's part of the story. But it's not the real reason. The real reason is older, darker, and it starts with an entire civilization getting wiped off the map by something that came from the sea itself. Around 1200 BCE, the Eastern Mediterranean was the most connected, most prosperous world humanity had ever built. Trade networks stretched from Egypt to Greece to Mesopotamia. Cities like Ugarit on the coast of modern Syria were wealthy hubs of international commerce, with palaces, archives, and libraries. Then, within a few decades, almost all of it burned to the ground. Historians call it the Bronze Age collapse, and the trigger, according to the records left behind, was a coalition of raiders known only as the Sea Peoples. Nobody fully agrees where they came from. What we do know is that they arrived by water, again and again, and coastal cities had almost no way to see them coming. The clearest evidence comes from Ugarit itself. Archaeologists found cuneiform tablets baked hard in the very fire that destroyed the city. Letters the king was writing, pleading for ships and reinforcements when the attack came. One tablet describes enemy ships already burning towns along the coast with the city's own fleet away at sea, unable to defend it. Help never arrived. Radiocarbon dating places the final destruction of Ugarit and other northern Levantine cities right around 1190 BCE city after city fell the same way. Troy, Knossos on Crete, Hattusa, capital of the mighty Hittite Empire. Within a single generation, some of the most sophisticated civilizations on Earth were reduced to scattered villages, and a dark age settled over the Mediterranean for centuries. Historian Eric Klein, who has spent decades studying this collapse, argues it wasn't just military, it was systemic. Trade routes broke, alliances collapsed, and famine followed. Historian Robert Drews has argued that part of what made the raiders so devastating was a shift in warfare itself. Fast-moving bands of infantry armed with new weapons, able to strike heavily fortified coastal palaces that had never needed to defend against that kind of speed before. But the detail that survived longest in cultural memory wasn't the famine or the tactics, it was the water. An entire region learned, in the space of one generation, that the sea could deliver an enemy to your doorstep with almost no warning, and there was nothing you could do to see it coming in time. So when the next generations rebuilt, they rebuilt differently. Major population centers moved inland or set back behind hills and riverbends, while smaller, expendable port towns absorbed the direct risk of the coastline. Athens had Piraeus. Rome had Ostia. If raiders came, the port would burn first, buying the real city time. But here's where it gets stranger. This fear didn't stay practical. It became religious. Across cultures that never had contact with each other, the sea was recast as something close to cosmic evil. In Mesopotamian myth, the god Marduk had to defeat Tiamat, a primordial sea monster, just to create the ordered world. In Canaanite mythology, Baal battles Yam, literally the god of the sea, for the right to rule. In the Hebrew Bible, the sea churns with Leviathan, a chaos beast only God can control. The Greeks gave the sea its own volatile, wrathful god in Poseidon, feared even by other gods. None of these cultures were copying each other. They were describing the same conclusion from different coastlines. The sea wasn't just dangerous. It was where order broke down entirely. That instinct never fully left us. Even today, most of the world's largest capital cities sit inland or set back from open coastline, Madrid, Mexico City, Beijing, Washington, built for governance, symbolism, and safety, while the ports that keep nations running absorb the risk a few miles away. It's the same ancient calculation, made by people who never studied it, just inherited it. Keep the center of power one step removed from the one direction danger has always arrived from without warning. So the next time you're standing on a coastline looking out at calm water, remember what that same view meant to someone standing there 3,000 years ago, in a city that trusted the sea until the exact week it didn't. Not a boundary, not a resource, a place where anything could arrive, and by the time you saw it, it was already too late to matter.